Hello, plant friends. I am doing some plant maintenance on the wall today, and I thought I'd give you an update. I haven't actually been on top of it, so plants are suffering. So, warning, there might be some dead plants. So I'm just gonna go around and check each one and see what's going on. Check each of the pockets. It's pockets. Oh, Lord. So this plant has not, okay. So for the Hoyas, it's been pretty easy to tell how they're doing. So this Hoya in particular, some of it is getting enough water, others not so much. And the fern is not doing so well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut some of that off. Overall, I would say that the biggest problem the plant wall has been getting is that it is too dry. So I've been trying to figure out the watering schedule, and that has just not been working out. Unfortunately, even though I have this automated irrigation system, I still have to go around and manually water it because it is too dry. And I think that probably has a lot to do with the medium I chose to use and underestimating how wet the bags are going to be able to stay. They apparently dry out very, very quickly. So a lot of what you're seeing is dryness. Poor babies. They were all very healthy, as my friend pointed out before I put them here. Now, not so much. So this fern's doing okay. I'm gonna cut this. We don't need this. It's looking. This is an old frond. So really just going around and cutting things that are dead. See, very dry, very dry. This is all very dry. This fern is doing okay. These two ferns are completely dead. And I've had a huge fungus gnat problem because of this wall as well. I've been setting the irrigation schedule to go on every night. So kind of like a, overnight rain shower, which the plants should ideally love, but so does the fungus gnats. So we've had a bit of that. I've got some mosquito bit chunks here. You can see this white chalky thing. That's bits of mosquito bits? Yeah, mosquito bits. And I think it's helped a bit. I've definitely lost some plants. There was a variegated ficus here. It's gone. And some of this could probably go. All too dry. Too dry. This lipstick plant actually has done pretty well from the get. And you know what? This brandy has not done that bad. It's actually put up some growth, even though growth is really small. Look how cute that leaf is. Yeah, it's been a steep learning curve, which I kind of knew before I started this project, but Christine doesn't listen to herself very well. So the pink princess has suffered tremendously. It is very, very dry, even though I water it. It's wet. Maybe it's now got root rot. Maybe it's too wet. I don't know. I feel like it's gone. I should probably just dig it out. I don't even know if I could save it at this point. Very sad. This is actually why I haven't come to maintain it, because I just can't deal with the fact that this plant looks like this now. This Hoya needs water, because if you just touch the leaves, they are super soft. So we'll be giving that some water. This pothos completely died back. I think it was too dry in the beginning, and now I don't know what's going on. Yep, still very dry. This is a Syndapsis, which looks like it's coming back to life. That's a root. So yeah, things are struggling. To be expected, I suppose. All right, yeah, this really died back, but now it's putting out new growth, so that's a good sign. This is, what is this, Monstera stiltibacana. These plants are doing okay, actually. Yeah, this one's not that bad. This is a Peppermues, got baby going. These Hoyas are not bad. This plant is shooting out this new growth, which is nice. Let's cut those dead leaves off. Ouch. This is my Calistophylla. It's doing fine. I got some seeds going. I don't think anything's going to bloom from that. How dry is this? This is super dry, isn't it? No, it's actually not that bad. I've been trying to refrain from watering it manually because I really, really want the plants to adjust to, you know, life in the pockets. But it's been tough love, and I'm losing. Like, this plant is super dried out. I don't even get it. Why? Why? Why are you so dry? Yeah, this plant is okay. All right, so I'm gonna get my watering can and manually water it, even though it's not what I want to do. Yeah, turning on the water system every night from 2 to 7. So it gets a 5-hour rain shower. Still not enough. So I don't know. Not enough. Not wet enough. All right. Just gonna go in here, get some water. So this is old fish tank water. This fish tank has a leak in it. So just using it to store water, and also I have a worm culture going on in there. I was gonna turn it into that tank into a place where I just grow aquatic plants as well. So I think mainly the problem has been that the bag gets wet, but not enough to wet the medium. So the front of the pocket is what's really dry. So I'm gonna give it a good watering. These poor plants. I don't know if I regret doing this. I just wish I had the energy to stay on top of it more. I just have not been doing a very good job of that, as the plants show. I mean, these ferns are long gone. They'll help keep the other two plants wet. There's a ficus in here. It is bouncing back, which is nice. And then this, I forget what this plant's called now. Cynthia is doing okay. A lot of it has died. It was a lot bigger when I put it in here. But, you know, it'll grow back, hopefully. This Hoya hasn't it's not doing great, but it's putting out some new growth, so could be worse. Not gonna water this pink princess because it's already very damp. I think it's actually now it has the reverse problem. It's too wet. Might have root rot. This is what happens. See, this is pretty moist. This is pretty dry, so water that. This is fine. I'm not gonna water this. And water this a little bit. And this is so dry. This plant is gonna die. There's no way. There's no way this is gonna make it. My life. I don't know. Time to buy new plants? Okay. This fern is actually doing okay here. Let's put out some new growth. Is it too dry? See, the problem is it's dry in the front. I'm gonna need more water. Ran out. So I'm gonna try to water. I've been really bad about coming up here because I just really want the automated system to work. I think one of the thoughts that I had was I was going to add cocoa peat on top or moss or something, some way to hold more moisture basically. Because this is killer. I've been not turning on the light as well to help. Because initially the lights were just on a timer and it was just, automated. But I realized that it was giving it way too much light and not enough water, so the plants were not doing well. This is the Australis, which looks fine. The Maranta's looking okay. It's probably still a bit dry because of the way the pockets are shaped. I don't know, I guess using the bark was not a good idea. Too dry. Okay, and then this Matilda has been suffering, but it looks like it's bouncing back. Some of it's bouncing back. So, more water. You think, it's raining 5 hours a day, it would keep it alive. I am wrong. That is not true. And Jennifer's doing okay. Yeah. Yeah, Jennifer's doing fine. Nice and stiff. This begonia's probably super dry. I should probably be doing this more than once every blue moon. But I haven't. How's the Hoya? The Hoya's doing okay. So let's water in the front. Yes, this also causes the water to go everywhere, which is also why I don't like manually watering this thing. My Cebu Blue went from completely dead to, I guess now has 2 leaves. Let's keep going and look at the disaster wall. Maybe that's the name of this video. Disaster wall. Welcome to the disaster wall. The string of hearts that I kind of like willy-nilly flopped in there is growing, so that's good news. These Hoyas are doing okay. This is Anthurium. It's doing all right. I know, you guys are probably like, they look not great. Yeah, I know. They were obviously in better shape before they came here. But because my resistance of coming here and watering it. So see, not great. This is okay. Let's water it a little bit more. My beautiful Hoya Ovifolia. I don't have any footage of before I chopped it up and put it in here. But this is sad. This is looking sad. This plant actually was doing really poorly and now it's doing great, so that's good. I'm very happy about this because it was pretty dead looking. These Hoyas look fine. This Hoya is no longer alive. Ah, genocide. Okay, let me get some more water. Why do I do this? I don't know. I asked myself. But it's so much neater now. But they're also... I mean, I'm not saying... I do believe it's possible that you can have a healthy plant wall. I just shouldn't have done it the way I did, which is do all like 200 plants at once, which I knew that. We have a clip of probably me saying that I probably shouldn't do it this way. But I did it anyway. Stubborn. Stubborn, Christine. And then on top. top. This jewel orchid is surprisingly doing not bad. Look at all this new growth that it put out. This plant, I should probably take cuttings. I don't know what it's doing. It's just dying back. Is there new growth? I can't tell. It's very close to this light, and this light actually is quite hot. So between the dryness and the light intensity, I think. Can I get scissors? They're over there. There, the red things. I gotta take this off. Getting hot. It always gets very warm up here. So yeah, between the light intensity and how I didn't realize that it was just so dry in the pockets, this plant has definitely suffered quite a bit. But I'm hoping now that it's raining every night, it'll do better. It looks healthier, but that's also maybe because I turned the light off. The light is only on now because I'm filming. We literally have not been turning it on. Until the plants look like they're not dying of thirst, I think I'm gonna keep it off for a while. Oh, here's some good news. This Hoya Ovifolia is growing. These are brand new leaves. They're super soft and kind of have a tactile texture to them. And this, what is this thing called? A jewel orchid is blooming. So that's good. For what? Oh yeah, so there's some growth. There's some new growth there. That's nice. I don't know what's happening with this guy. This is a very big plant that I stuck in here, and it is just not doing anything. Poor baby. Okay, this completely died, whatever that was. Oh, right, the Maranta. All right, let me see. I'll water this plant a little bit. Water these pockets. So I've been touching the pockets on the outside to see how wet they are, and they are very dry. Almost like need like a, I don't know, because all the water is obviously coming from the back, and there's no water in the front. You almost like need like a way to mist the front to keep the pockets wet in the front. I obviously can't do that. I live in an apartment. That's not happening. Ooh, look at this. Super dead. God knows what that was. Oh, I know what it is. It's this plant. The lipstick plant. I also noticed when I had initially planted them in the pockets, I didn't do a good job. Like I didn't fill the pockets all the way. So some of the plants were, I guess, half potted. So I have to go back and fill it with, that's all the white stuff that you're seeing on top is pumice that I did afterwards. The curry eye is not doing well at all. This Hoya is also dying, if not dead already. Did I tell you that you're gonna see dead plants in this video? Life. Life. And let's water the front. This queen? Is it queen? Yeah, this queen is doing okay. Alright. Pupa-calyx doing fine. The Pupa-calyx actually have been doing really well. They suffered the same problem, like they were too dry, but once I watered them thoroughly again, it was doing fine. So some of these stems, I think, need to go. Need to go. Poor princess. I'm just gonna cut it back. Too dry. But these are going fine. Water this one a little bit up front. So if you were to try this, I would say use a more dense or more moisture retaining medium. So add, you know, something like cocoa peat to the mix. And then you would have to play with it, because right now I think having it in the pockets and having it on a wall, I think that just really changes it in comparison to, you know, if the plant was living in a pot. So I highly recommend using a much, let me cut that, using a much more moisture retaining medium. Otherwise, you're gonna run into this problem. I feel like if I let it rain, like, say, all day, I think some plants will be too wet and then some will still be too dry. And the pump has been really noisy. I haven't really worked on that. There's just, you know, there's no lack of problems. I would argue that having it on all these plants on the plant wall still makes maintenance easier, because I'm not watering each individual plant by themselves. So that's quite nice. It's freed up a lot of room, which was really the main goal. But I also wanted a living wall. Is it worth the sacrifice? We will never know until, I guess, either all the plants die, but you can always replace them, right? That's what people do. Plants die and they replace them. Okay, oh wait. I watered all these already. I'm gonna move my ladder. Alrighty, and to the last one. See, that actually was pretty quick. I shouldn't whine about coming up here so often. Because every time I'm like, oh, I gotta get up on this ladder and look at all these dying plants. Why would I want to do that? I think that rotted. I cut that back already. See, there's no new growth. At least not that I can see. This is uber dry. Look at this. Dry. Dry! Very dry. Poor babies. Alright, let's water some of this. I'm almost done. I find that this Lisa, Australia's Lisa, is probably one of the harder Hoyas to tell whether or not it's underwatered, because I feel like the leaves are just not as stiff as the other ones, especially the new leaves. The new leaves are very flexible. So this plant seems to be doing all right here. This philodendron has not really skipped a beat. It's kind of gone. Or maybe it is. Maybe this leaf is not the healthiest. We have some yellowing down here. This plant might be one of the plants that is getting too much water. It's hard to accommodate everybody. Okay.
That seems like one of the biggest challenges of this project.
Yep. And I tried by thinking about where, you know, most of the water is going to be up here. At least that's where I thought. But, you know, I would say the Hoyas, if I didn't cut some of them, or if I like potted them better initially, maybe they would have fared better. Because overall, I would say the Hoyas are doing better than some of the other plants. I was being very ambitious with this project. Okay, well, that was it. That was pretty fast, actually. I mean, I can obviously go back and cut more dead things, but... And the peace lily is doing great over there. It's just in the water reservoir that the pump lives in. I have not yet figured out what other bucket I want to use to hold this water, because this pot has a hole in it at the bottom. So I can't really just use the pot itself. That would have been ideal, but it's what it is now. This curtsy eye is doing really well. It's growing, putting new growth out. It's gone longer. Matilda suffered so much, but I have another one. But that's not to say that I shouldn't give it more love. I need to water this again. The begonias actually fared a lot better than I thought it would. Okie doke. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that the Rhaphodora tetrasperma hasn't grown at all. Because it usually grows, you know, like crazy. Sorry. And it hasn't really put out any new growth. So I'm a little bit surprised by that. I wasn't really expecting the string of hearts to do much. I just threw it in there to see what would happen. So what's my next step? My next plan? Yeah, as I said, I think I'm going to maybe add more moss on top or something that retains water better, so that maybe it'll help the bags hold onto moisture for longer. I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, which makes me like not want to take care of it. Killed my Hoyas. This pink princess is so sad. Don't look at it. Never mind. Well, that's it for the plant wall. So what's the summary? A lot of plants have suffered. Plants are bouncing back. Still trying to figure out the watering schedule. If you have any advice, I really do not want to repot any of these plants. It's a hot mess. Like, you take it out, everything falls onto the floor. Like, I'm constantly vacuuming and sweeping, and there's still debris all over the floor, and it drives me crazy. And then we broke the vacuum cleaner recently. Anyway, I'm hoping in like a year from now, I can be like, ta-da! That was so easy. That was cake. All right, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next one.